we'll move on to one of the final talking points from the Liverpool game, which is, I believe, Klopp and Guardiola both saying that English clubs dropped the ball in terms of voting against the 5 substitutes rule in the Premier League. This particularly came about because it looks like Trent Alexander-Arnold has picked up kind of a soft tissue injury in that game. Will be he's out of the England squad, potentially out for a couple of games.
He's out for about a month. He's going to be apparently.
Right, out for a couple of months.
Yeah.
This is probably a fatigue injury or stacking up of fixtures, and lack of rotation options for managers. Greg, would you like to have seen 5 subs, and do you think it was kind of a no-brainer maybe?
No, I think 3 subs works perfectly. It's worked perfectly for as long as it has. Injuries do happen, so you just got to sort of predict and work around that. I mean, like, you can't have everything work with you can't be reactive to everything. Also, with it massively benefits Pep. It massively benefits Klopp to have the 5 subs, because you can just put on you can have a formation of 5 attacking players and say, right, bomb the shit out of them for 45 minutes. You're all coming off at the half time.
Yeah.
But if you're a club like, I don't know, West Brom, West Ham, where you haven't got the budget that they have to have their squad depth, it doesn't really benefit you. I can't see teams like Sheffield Wednesday, Fulham, all of those actually utilising 5 subs. So I think that it's really within their benefit to say, oh, yeah, I think we were wrong. Of course you fucking do. You've got 5 players that would get into any other starting 11.
Yeah, it makes their lives easier in terms of a man management point of view as well, with morale, and also obviously those naughty little appearance bonuses that we don't really know about as well, which is right. Obviously a big part of football. Boothie, what's your thoughts on this? 5 subs?
I'm all for the 5 subs, because I get what Greg's saying about how it will benefit the bigger teams of having. You could bring in, for example, Man City. If Cancelo's not playing left back, then Mendy's playing left back. I get that kind of stuff, but at the end of the day, these bigger clubs are playing 2 games a week minimum. They're playing in the league on the weekend, then during midweek they're flying out to, let's say, France, Germany, or Spain, or if you're in the Europa League, you're going to Kazakhstan or Lithuania or somewhere. There we go. You know what I mean? They are traveling a long time, so fatigue is going to be a factor for these bigger teams. So for them to rotate the players, it's just beneficial for the team, for the manager, and also for the league. Like, we don't want to see our best players. Obviously, like, we do, in the sense of like being a nasty kind of fan, but from a neutral point of view, you don't want to see the best players getting injured. Because I think we left of seeing Tom, Dick, and Harry playing right back and left back for the bigger clubs because they're running out of players.
I mean, who's the guy? Nat Phillips playing centre back for Liverpool. Like
who is that? Look, if I'm gonna pay £14.95 and watch a kid called Nat Phillips play, I'm pissed. You know what I mean? So I'm all for the 5 subs, mate. I don't care about the small teams, for being honest, in that sense, because they play once a week, maybe twice in a cup game. But then again, they don't even get that far in the cup, so does it actually really affect them? Not really. So
you know what, Ian Wright made a really good suggestion. So what he was saying, I don't know if any of you watched Match of the Day, but what he suggested was that when they're playing each other, so the teams that are playing in Europe, so if Man City's playing Liverpool, they can have 5 subs. But if Man City, so this would say they were using it this weekend, right? Spurs wouldn't be allowed to have 5 subs, correctly?
What kind of that is the
worst. Spurs wouldn't be able to have 5 subs yet because they're playing West Brom, but City and Liverpool would, because they were playing each other, and vice versa. If say next week Spurs are playing Liverpool, in that game they can have 5 subs because they've both been in Europe that week. They're both going to have long haul flights, etc. But if City was playing, West Ham, then no, they wouldn't be allowed. So it would basically just be, it's almost kind of like saying, in this league of, teams that are in Europe, when you're playing each other, you can use 5 subs, but when you're
Man,
looks irritated.
because this plays right. Okay, look, here's the thing, right? This plays into the idea of the Big Six again, which only a few weeks ago we were all saying we hate the idea of. I'm really sorry that you've qualified for Champions League and you're getting paid like an extra 25 million for qualifying, all of this. I'm really sorry that you're one of the bigger clubs in England and you can afford the best physios, the best training facilities, the best treatments. I really don't get it. I don't get this motive of feeling sorry for the big clubs because they're playing more games or in more competition.
Would you be saying that if it was Son or Bale or Kane lying on the floor?
Look, from a Tottenham perspective, you've seen the documentary. You see how many players we had injured last year. The break for COVID saved our season a little bit. I'm in a position where I could absolutely be saying, yeah, definitely get Kane off, let him hammer for 45 minutes and then get him off and get on another strike. No, I don't like the idea of making it easier for the bigger teams because then we would probably not be in a position where we are in the Premier League, where you're seeing Southampton top of the league, Leicester up there, Everton. You were saying how Everton, they've not got Richarlison, they've not got James Rodriguez, they fall to bits.
But my point is this then. So Tom said that obviously City and Liverpool, in the last 20 minutes of the game, it slowed down. It slowed down as well because of fatigue. Now, as a viewing fan, you don't want to see the team slow down and say, "Oh, fuck it, here's a point each. Let's just go home happy." You want to see both teams slugging it out to the end, and you can't do it if your boys are tired. Like it doesn't work. I don't think they need to bring in the 5 subs to help out the bigger teams. I'm sorry.
John Aldino saying 3 subs is all we need.
Yes.
So... we'll jump.
Athletes. I'm not feeling sorry for a fatigued athlete. This is his job. And like, if he's fatigued, you see the Liverpool, a team that pushed till the 90th minute and they got what they deserved in the 90th minute. Most of those games last season with the 3 subs.
Yeah, before COVID.
You're moving the goalposts. What are you talking about?
What I think about it is that, you know, you'd expect for me, a Liverpool fan, to be like, all right, Klopp said it, so yeah, I'm on board. But I'm actually not. And I think the only argument that I can see for it is during this very specific period where obviously the league's going to be a bit busier, but it's mainly obviously these Champions League games, and the Champions League started about a month later. Fair enough. But there's only 6 games. And then in the new year, if you're still in Europe, those games are going to be the same schedule as they would have been before. I completely agree with Greg that, like, I think once there's 5 subs and they say, right, we're going to have it for this season, then next summer they're like, oh, well, this is working well. I think we should keep it the way it is. And I'm almost a bit suspicious of it in a similar way to like the Project Big Picture thing, where it's like just trying to get these little advantages here and there, and I'm not interested in it. You know, it takes away the appreciation of what, like, when you actually get to win that league. You don't want in 10 years time to be like, oh, Liverpool won the league again. Well, yeah, but you've been like gnawing out these little advantages for yourself for the last 10 years. Like, now it's all set up in your favor. Like, no, there's no like you know, satisfaction to be gained from that at all. And, you know, I can understand, you know, people want to see the best players playing. I can definitely see that argument for it. But in terms of Klopp, his argument, what would it have been? Like, oh, I was just about to take Trent off. Well, I don't think he was. Like, so it's just unfortunate. These injuries do happen. Soft tissue injuries happen. Hamstrings go, calves go. And I don't necessarily think that's because we played Atalanta on Tuesday. I mean, from a scheduling point of view, like, it's the best schedule you could have had, apart from if they were playing tonight, like Tuesday, Sunday night. Like, that's the most rest that we could have had playing a Champions League game.
No, very true.
And Pep only used 1 sub. So how's he complaining about the subs? He didn't even use the 3 that he's got.
No, very true. On a kind of side note, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer mentioned about there should be some advantages in terms of the kickoff time. So he was moaning that obviously they had Wednesday, they were far, and then they had a long flight or whatever, and then they had a 12:30 kickoff. Do you think...
I can definitely see him. I can definitely see his point.
Yeah,
because they do that in Spain, don't they? At Real Madrid and Barcelona and stuff. Like, sometimes they will move fixtures.
Yeah. Well,
So it will
TV
benefit
has
them
got
in the
too much
Champions
influence.
League, but we don't. We got you're right. It's all about the TV and stuff.
Liverpool and City played the earliest in the week. Liverpool were in Italy. City were at home, I presume. Not that far. They should have been on Saturday lunchtime. United obviously going not as far as you can go, but probably when you take away all the like Kazakhstan and Russian flights that are usually in the Europa League, yeah, Turkey's about as far as you're really going to expect to go in the Champions League, and they're having to do Wednesday, Saturday. So yeah, I can definitely see, like in this case, like Solskjaer's argument is it's mad that obviously City and Liverpool's the big draw, so they go, all right, that's the perfect one, Sunday 4:00, that's the prime time spot. Teams should be able to come back at it, but as far as I know, they're just told what to do. They're told when to show up, and I think that's too much.